Hello YouTube and welcome to another GV anime review, where this week I'm attempting to do a requested review of Mekakucity Actors. Now I did say attempting, because reviewing Mekakucity Actors the anime on its own is nearly impossible. That is because Mekakucity Actors is part of a much bigger multimedia project called the Kagerou Project. And if you dive straight into this anime without knowing the history or the content of the Kagerou Project, like I did, you will be completely confused because nothing makes sense in this anime. So at the end of this video, I will tell you what you should do before watching this anime. First big problem for me is trying to explain what this anime is about. In general, what you should know is that Mekakucity Actors centers around a group of people who have some kind of superpowers called the eye powers. And the anime shows us how these people are connected and how they obtained these superpowers. So through all the confusion that this anime inflicted on me, there was one thing that jumped out in terms of positive. And that was how several storylines were connected in ways that I could not predict. For instance, the first two episodes and the two episodes after that tell completely different stories, and I could not see how they were related to each other. To me, it seemed that they weren't at all. But then in the fifth or the sixth episode, suddenly these two storylines came together and I did not see that coming. And this anime did that several times. So I have to give props to the complicated way how everything was connected in Mekakucity Actors, and that is just the tip of the iceberg. Now this anime is created by Shaft, and we all know that Shaft can get a little crazy when it comes to their animation. And Mekakucity Actors is a perfect example of the minimalistic and almost acid-tripping animation that Shaft uses in some of their most well-known animes. So expect animation that's not detailed at all, especially for the backgrounds, and colors that are so flashy that you'll question yourself if you aren't tripping balls at that moment. Now some people like this unique style of Shaft, but I'm not one of those people. I like my animation to be as realistic as possible or very lively and vibrant when it comes to comedy animes. Like I said in my introduction, I didn't understand jack shit of Mekakucity Actors. There were several episodes where I was watching and my mind was just blank. I didn't understand anything, and I like animes with complicated storylines, but here I couldn't get head nor tails on this story. But let's get this negative out of here, because that is not the fault of the anime. As I said, Mekakucity Actors is part of a much larger multimedia project called the Kagerou Project, which consists of Vocaloid music videos, light novels, a manga and an anime. And the anime is one of the final parts of this project, meaning that I jumped straight into a story that had gone already through so much development that it was pretty normal that I got lost in it. So my advice is to go all the way and do this project in the correct order. Now, to help you with this, in the description I will link you to a guide of the Kagerou Project written by someone named Emma. This guide shows you the correct order in which you should watch and read the contents of the Kagerou Project, and she gives extra explanations so that you don't get lost. I read this guide without reading everything from the manga and the light novels, and now I get a general idea of what the Kagerou Project wanted to tell. So if you want the full experience of Mekakucity Actors and the Kagerou Project, I highly suggest following this guide. So as a conclusion, as I just made clear, watching Mekakucity Actors on its own is a very bad idea. The anime makes no sense on so many different levels that after finishing, it really felt like I wasted my time on it. But I am not going to rate this anime on its own, because that would be completely unfair to the effort that has been put into it. The Kagerou Project is a piece of art, and if you're interested and have the time to go all the way, then follow Emma's guide of the project and your experience will most certainly be better than mine. Purely based on the characters having superpowers, I recommend two other animes with the same premise. The first one is Trickster, which I was not a big fan of since it wasted a lot of its potential in my opinion. The second one, which I recommend more, is Bungo Stray Dogs. The first season was also pretty bad, I didn't like it one bit, but the second season was a lot better and it made Bungo Stray Dogs live up to its expectations. And with that I conclude my review of Mekakucity Actors. As usual, you can find the full list of all my animes and reviews over at Anime Planet. As usual, I will put a link in the description box down below. Now, if you want me to review a particular anime from this list, please put it in the comments. Also, if you have a recommendation for me, put it in the comments as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, visit me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and subscribe to this channel for more reviews in the future. I will say arigatou gozaimasu and I will see you all in the next video.